We are live. Hey.
Cool. Hey, how you going?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good. You built this FreePay thing, and before we talk about exactly what it is, maybe you can set up the context of like what you were trying to solve.
So essentially for a while, for the last year or so, I've seen a lot of these like crypto debit cards come out for wallets, and they would allow you to spend your crypto money at merchants with like the support Visa and MasterCard, which seems really simple and easy. And it's like, yay, now I can spend my crypto. But the problem was we're still using TradFi Rails. And like the whole point of crypto is that we're supposed to be doing payments, and like crypto is built as a payments network so that we can pay people all over the world. We can pay in person. We don't have to have all these middlemen. And then we're reusing the same middlemen we had before. So I talked to a bunch of these different cards at conferences and like over Zoom meetings. And a lot of them I asked like, well, why don't you just skip the card? Why don't you have the wallet to merchant payment straight away? And a lot of them just thought it was too hard. And I'm like, well, how hard could it be to do this? So I decided to do a little hackathon and figure out how hard it was to build a little crypto payment terminal where you can take your crypto wallet on your phone, you can tap to pay, and it goes straight from your wallet to the merchant with no middlemen, no fees, only gas fees, which like on Base Network is like 0.1 cent now. So basically nothing. And so I created this device. This is the device in front of me. It's a Raspberry Pi with a little NFC reader. I think most people watching this stream have probably seen the demo. And essentially what happens is you do need currently there's like a companion app that goes along with this called the FreePay POS app. And all this is it's just a bridge that allows your wallet to work with NFC. And I want to get rid of this eventually. We'll talk about that later. But currently what happens is you can tap the merchant types in how much they want to charge. You tap your phone. It automatically, the device first pulls your wallet address from your phone, looks up on chain what tokens you have. So it's like, oh, this guy has USDC on Base, whereas another person might have like DAI on Arbitrum, whatever, it doesn't matter. It automatically figures out what you have that makes the most sense. So it prioritizes stablecoins. And then it creates a payment request and sends that to your phone, which opens up your selected wallet, whatever your favorite wallet is, and then opens that with a payment request. And so it's tap to pay, as simple as credit cards, but there's no middleman.
Cool. So when you said you made an app that you have to install that you don't want to be the case in the future, you mean like a sidecar app that has to run on the phone that also has your wallet? Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like this. All it is it's called the FreePay app. And all it is simply you select what wallet. So these are all the wallets installed on my phone. I've been testing a lot of them. And you select your wallet, and then it pulls in the address of your wallet. And all this app does the initial tap connection with the device, and then sends it your wallet address so that the device can then pull your tokens, figure out the correct transaction link to send back to your phone. Because the problem with payments, so I've seen a lot of crypto payment terminal kind of devices, and the problem with all of them is they all have friction because you have to do this kind of what chain are you using, what token are you using, what wallet are you using, like kind of negotiation with the merchant. And then you have to be like, oh, well, I only have USDC on Base and you want USDT on Tron network, and I don't know how to get there, and you have to do bridging and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to get rid of all of that, make it one step, one tap. Everything else is figured out in the background, and that's the holy grail that I'm trying to work towards.
So you not only built a pay.
Oh no.
Or chain agnostic.
You just cut out for a moment.
Oh, that was interesting. Yeah, he said you've not only done a payment terminal and a way to connect the payment terminal to your wallet, but you've done it in a way that is agnostic to what chain your assets are on.
Exactly, yeah. So I wanted it to be open source so that anyone can hack on this. chain agnostic, wallet agnostic, token agnostic. So you can use any kind of like this is currently only on EVM networks, but in the future it can support Bitcoin, it can support Solana, it can support Hedera, it can support whatever kind of chain you like. And I'm working on cross-chain improvement proposals to make sure that this is completely agnostic, because it should be all of crypto versus TradFi. We shouldn't be fighting them on multiple fronts. Like if we want payments to take over the world, we need something that like everyone can rally around, essentially.
Right. We have a question in the comments, which is, so the merchant has to tap first to request the payment. Is that?
Yeah. So the merchant types in how much they want to charge. So like on the device here, they type in like, I don't know, if you press some things, they can
2
type
cents.
in
Yeah, that's
2
good.
cents. Yeah. So that's the cool thing about not having any fees is people can charge 2 cents for things. If you want to sell a single nail or something at a hardware store, you can charge 2 cents for that, and that's a thing you can do now.
Plus gas.
Plus gas, which is like 0.01 cents, I think it is now, which is basically free.
Yeah.
And then they just click the charge button, and then it's tap to pay after that. So it's like a normal payment terminal.
That's super cool. And so just to make sure we get the process, because it went by quickly, the merchant types in how much they want to charge.
Yep.
Then the person with the phone has already installed the FreePay app for now.
Yep.
And let's talk in a minute about how that maybe doesn't have to be the case in the future. They tap, that's the thing that does the NFC thing with the payment terminal.
Yep.
And then that sends back somehow to the wallet specifically the transaction that it wants you to do, or the request. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that FreePay app sends the wallet address, like whatever wallet you're using. So if you're using MetaMask or Coinbase or whatever, it sends your wallet address to the merchant terminal. The merchant terminal uses Alchemy at the moment, though it can use any service to look up all the tokens that you have in your wallet. Specifically, it's looking for stablecoins, though it can look for any tokens. And then it figures out what stablecoins you have. It assembles a transaction. It's called the ERC is ERC681, and this is a standard Ethereum transaction that it then sends back to your wallet, and the wallet then pops up with the kind of pay, just like press for payment.
Okay, cool. So ERC681 is a URL format for transaction requests. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's one for Bitcoin called BIP21, and there's another one for Solana. I can't remember what the number is. A lot of networks have these kind of formats, but the problem with it is that this is a pretty common standard now, this EIP681. But the problem is the merchant usually doesn't know what tokens you have first, so they don't know what kind of transaction to send to you. Like they can send a transaction for USDC on Base, but if you don't have that, then you're screwed, kind of thing. And so that's why I was trying to solve that problem of how does the merchant get the tokens first before sending the payment link. And that's
so this problem is why most projects that have done things like this are like very specific to a wallet or a chain or both.
Exactly.
Because it wasn't obvious to them like which asset you would want to be spending at a merchant.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen a few projects that have been like, you need this specific wallet with this specific payment terminal, which makes it easier for the developer because then they can do all that negotiation and communication themselves. But it's not very scalable. It's not like you're going to get the whole world to adopt this one terminal and this one wallet. That's just not happening, especially with like how many chains and different wallets we have these days. And like people don't want to switch wallets just to pay for things.
Right. And was this EIP681 actually created for the purpose you're using it for?
It was originally created for QR codes, so that you can, a merchant can have a QR code that for like they could have a whole bunch of products and they could have a QR code for each of them, and you can scan that, and then it requests like, I don't know, they could have some standard like USDC on Base is how everything in this shop is done. And when you scan it, it opens up USDC on Base, whatever the cost of that product is.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense and sounds like technically reasonable. However, I guess the user experience for that in a shop would be scan each thing and pay for it separately, as opposed like there's no cart or anything, so it doesn't fit the way people normally work in the real world.
You can do a cart and a QR code as well and have like that at the end, but then you still have to do the chain token negotiation kind of stuff to figure out how to actually pay.
Yeah, okay. And so another question from the comments. So the FreePay app functions similar to Apple Pay in this case, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's essentially what it's doing. Is it's kind of like how you choose your credit card in your Apple Pay or your Google Wallet. It's basically doing the same thing.
Cool. Bumblefudge says this, and I'm not sure the context that he was referring to, but I'll put it up in case it's useful. Probably from a comment we were making previously, or maybe from a comment here.
Yeah. So,
hello,
hey, Bumblefudge. Yeah. So I've been talking to Bumblefudge about this and trying to do this chain agnostic improvement proposal to basically set a standard so that wallets can talk directly to the merchant terminal without needing this middleware app, essentially. So people don't need to install FreePay on their phone. They can just take their MetaMask and they can tap and it'll just work.
Okay,
and all that,
if you go too far, tell me what an agnostic improvement proposal even is. What does that mean?
Yeah, so like in Ethereum, they have Ethereum improvement proposals. In Bitcoin, they have Bitcoin improvement proposals. Chain agnostic is something that applies to all blockchains. So an example of this is like, what is an address format for wallet addresses that can be used across all chains, so that when I'm sending you my wallet address, if I send you an Ethereum address, like you could think, oh, that's probably an Ethereum wallet, but it could also be like a base wallet, or it could be a monad wallet, or it could be like a Gnosis chain wallet, because they're all similar. Well, Gnosis might be different. They're all similar EVM styles. And so there's this chain improvement proposal 10, which gives a standard format for all wallet addresses. And then there's other chain agnostic improvement proposals for like how do you connect to a wallet over the internet. Like Wallet Connect has these standards. Like Wallet Connect is built into all these wallets, and they have a standard way of working with wallets, and that was started with a chain agnostic improvement proposal. And so the reason I'm doing this chain agnostic improvement proposal, is so that this can support any kind of chain, because I didn't want to do just like a Ethereum improvement proposal, because I don't want to make this just Ethereum, so that everyone can participate essentially, and then we can pay with whatever your favorite token is or whatever your favorite chain is. And merchants can also support whatever their favorite chain is as well.
Cool. Makes sense. So how do you get rid of the FreePay app?
Yeah, so if we can come up with this standard, this chain agnostic improvement proposal, if that we figure out the correct standard and that gets merged, then we can talk to wallets, like talk to MetaMask or talk to Coinbase, and say, hey, this is a standard way of essentially that proposal is only for sending the wallet address to the merchant terminal. That's all that's needed to make all of this work. And you need to send the wallet address to the merchant terminal, so the merchant terminal can then look up your tokens, and also so the merchant terminal knows what chain you want to pay with. So if you send your wallet address and it's a Bitcoin address, then the terminal knows, okay, now I send a Bitcoin payment link back. But if you do this and it sends an Ethereum address, then it's like, okay, now I send an Ethereum payment link back. And that can work like that. And so once this proposal is merged, then we can talk to MetaMask and Coinbase and like Exodus wallet and like all these different wallets and say, hey, if you just implement this, then your wallet will be fully compatible with the FreePay payment terminal. And then people can pay at merchants all over the world using your wallet. And over time, hopefully more and more wallets adopt that. This merchant terminal can go out to more and more places, and then we can have this generic crypto way of paying for things without any middlemen.
Cool. So you're talking about a really ambitious idea. If you say like, I'm going to go to Coinbase and tell them change your wallet because then it will be compatible with this payment system that's available all over the world.
Yeah.
So far, it's only available in your house,
Yep.
as far as I know, right? But that's why it's open source, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
you're not
so
trying to build a business out of this. You're actually just like trying to create effectively a de facto standard plus a de
Exactly.
facto set of standards, de facto and not. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really want to build a business out of this. The problem with building a business is then when you go to Coinbase, they're like, oh, you have some profit incentive here. It's like a lot harder to get people to coordinate if you're a for-profit kind of thing. And then also I enjoy technical stuff and I enjoy doing research. I don't really run a startup to try and take over the payments world. I'd rather somebody else that's really good at that and really good distribution and marketing and things like that do this. And so if somebody's out there that wants to build a business around this, that would be awesome. You should totally do that.
So I have a question again from the comments, but I wanted to set it up because it digs into another deeper question I have. So the question in the comments is, if I'm a merchant and I already have a POS of some sort of payment terminal, can I just switch to the FreePay software? I'm assuming the answer is sort of, not really. Like, you probably have to have this thing in parallel. But I wanted to ask a deeper question along with it about what exactly is the POS part? Because I'm assuming it's like, you have this Raspberry Pi, you've done some fun UI stuff to have a place that you can enter the price, but like, how big is this software layer? And do you imagine it being something that could plug into existing POS systems as just a software layer, or is there a hardware part to it?
Yeah.
For those who have never tried to build something like this, it seems pretty ambitious as a weekend hackathon project to make a hardware device that's a payment terminal. I'm guessing it's not quite as hard as it sounds.
No, it wasn't quite that hard. It is fairly simple. Really, it's just a simple node server that talks with NFC over to your phone, has a few NFC commands. It has a web page. This Raspberry Pi is just running like a headless Chrome browser with a website that just displays the merchant terminal. And so it's fairly thin, fairly easy to integrate. It is very hard to get it into existing payment terminals. So that's something that I'll be working on later, is like trying to do this. But that does kind of lead me into something even cooler than this Raspberry Pi terminal that I wanted to show you today. In that something that can actually be more integrated with merchant terminals. So basically, I was talking to a bunch of payment networks, and some of them, instead of building their own hardware, they'd actually purchased these point of sale devices and just installed their software on them. And so it turns out there is a whole bunch of open source, not completely open source, but open software, like unlocked payment terminals you can buy. So you can buy these from Amazon, from eBay, from Alibaba. And essentially they just run Android and then have the NFC and everything built into them. And then you just write the software and put your payment terminal stuff on there. And I talked to a whole bunch of people and they're like, well, why do we need this Raspberry Pi thing? Why do we need this whole device? Why don't we just do phone-to-phone transfers? And so I was like, you know what, that's a really good idea. Why don't we just do that? So I went out and bought another Android phone. And then today I have created this device. This is the Android payment terminal. So I've got, just clear that. So you can type in, just looks fairly similar to the other one. Type in, say, 2 cents, click charge. So you do this, tap my phone to it.
Requesting payment.
Pops up.
Nice. And now you're in your wallet.
Now in my wallet. Popped up with my wallet. I'm confirming. Sent. And confirmed.
Amazing.
Yeah. So this is an Android app that functions exactly the same as the merchant terminal. It connects directly to your phone wallet. And then you can make payments with this Android app. And so once I release this, people can just install this on their phone, and then they have a merchant terminal that can accept crypto payments, or they can, if they have one of these payment terminals that are Android, based on Android, they might be able to install the app alongside their existing apps. I'm not sure how hard this is yet, because I haven't looked at like how other payment terminals work. Some things like Square are a bit more locked down, but some that are running Android are a bit more open. You could install this alongside them, and then you could accept crypto payments. So yeah, it should be a lot easier once this is released to accept crypto payments on existing point of sale terminals instead of needing a whole new thing. And I think the whole Raspberry Pi thing is a bit too complicated to do. I was thinking like people could print their own, like 3D print their own hardware and assemble it themselves and stuff, but it's a lot easier if you could just buy an existing payment terminal that's all open source, install the software, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, I imagine if someone were going to build a business out of this, they could probably create a bunch of small Raspberry Pi devices that are super cheap, and you have so many options since it's just a fairly simple open source software
exactly
protocol or set of protocols, I guess.
Yeah, it's fairly simple open source software, set of protocols. Like Ledger makes a lot of money just selling hardware. You could do a similar kind of thing with payment terminals. If somebody wants to build a company around this, they can. This is all MIT open source license. You can take it and build a company around it if you want. That's totally fine with me. I just want to see crypto win.
Nice. So you have a website for this that I was looking at earlier. I'm going to show it real quick because I want to show the wallet compatibility grid.
Oh, yes. To show how long we have to go.
Yes. And we want to talk about help that you need on this project. It's an open source project.
Yes.
And you are looking for help. And one of the ways that you're looking for help is in wallet compatibility, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is live-ish, I guess, this thing?
Yeah. Yep. This is most recently tested, I guess, a week ago. And I went through a lot of the most common wallets. Only Coinbase and MetaMask work out of the box at the moment. There are some that somewhat work but have issues. Like they'll work just for Ethereum and ETH, but not for other tokens, things like that. But a lot of them are basically incompatible. Claude is very good these days. And I actually downloaded the source code for the Rabi wallet and added ERC-681 support to it, and it works. And I tested it out the other day and got that working just with a few Claude prompts and showing it the spec and how things should work. So if you're a developer or someone that wants to play around with Claude, it would be awesome if anyone is out there that wants to take an open source wallet and see if they can add support for this to it. And that would be great.
So it's literally just having the wallet support ERC-681.
Exactly. Yeah.
What did that change look like on Rabi?
It wasn't too big. It was basically making it accept Android intents, making it accept this Ethereum URL format, and then when it receives that intent with that URL, it just opens the send screen with the correct token selected and the correct amount filled in.
Cool. So one of the major things, if not the biggest thing, that you would like to have people do in order for this to be spread is for this to exist in every wallet. And that's a fairly easy change. Yeah. How do we need to go lobby all of the commercial wallets, the non-open source ones as well?
Yeah, I think so. We can start with the open source, and then once this builds up more momentum, then that'll kind of force the commercial ones to adopt.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what else are you working on here? What do you need help with?
Yeah, so if anyone's good at standards, so I've talked to Bumblefudge, who just had the comment before, and anyone else that is good at wallet standards and stuff, I need help figuring out this cross-chain agnostic improvement proposal. If anyone works at wallets and would like to help with that, that would be great, because we really need that standard to be set so then wallets can adopt that as well, and then we can get rid of this needing the FreePay app to do things. And then the other thing is that now that, so I've actually made the merchant terminal use this chain agnostic improvement proposal already, even though it's not approved. I just included it in the FreePay app and in the merchant terminal. so that it can be open to other chains. So currently it's only EVM, but the app actually returns a chain agnostic address. So it should actually be fairly easy to add Bitcoin support and add other chains now. They just need to be added into the merchant terminal. And so, well, they need to be added to both the FreePay companion app, like the customer app and the merchant terminal. In the customer app, it would just be, you needed to be able to detect, say, Bitcoin wallets and select your Bitcoin wallet. And then in the merchant terminal, it just needs to respond to a Bitcoin address with a Bitcoin payment link. And similar for other chains, that can be fairly easily added now. And so it'd be great if people want to add their favorite chain, you can add that now.
Cool. And you demoed this POS on Android. Is there any reason that you couldn't do this also on iOS if someone were an iOS developer?
Maybe. I just haven't got around to doing iOS yet. So Apple, for the longest time, has locked down their NFC compatibility. They've only allowed it for credit cards. And so you need like special banking licenses and stuff just to use the NFC part of iPhones. But apparently the European government has forced them to open up access now. And so they're slowly opening access. And so that is also why this seems like the ideal time to try and push this and like get this going. Because now that iPhone is open access, we can get iPhones working just as well as Androids.
Cool. Yeah. So it would make sense. Like I get why you would start with Android, even if that weren't the case, since you have these open source, cheap Android payment terminals you can buy. But I can imagine, like Square and others, they have Android merchant apps. I use them for my record label, in fact, for selling physical plastic discs to people. For some reason, they still want them because they're old, I guess. So yeah, I mean, like small merchants where they already have an iPhone, I can imagine people wanting to just have an app and sitting it down. So
yeah, exactly.
iOS developers out there, especially those who are expert with NFC, please do contribute.
That would be awesome, actually. Yeah, true. Anyone that's an iPhone expert, if you could help me out with this, that'd be great.
So speaking of contributing, you have this GitHub organization.
Yep.
FreePay POS. And have you had external contributions yet?
Yeah, I have. So I've had a few small contributions, some small changes to the apps. A few things. So that's been great. And it would be great to have more.
Yeah, I get the sense, as much as other people might want to do on this, you'll be very happy to not be a controlling dictator sort of open source person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tim is a very nice person, everyone. I can
try to be.
Yeah. Cool. So just in terms of like what's in this GitHub organization, in terms of like code, it looks like you really have two pieces right now in here until you put this new Android thing. You have the merchant app, which is the node thing you mentioned, which I guess that just means can you do NFC? Like, can you test it off of your computer?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you just need to buy a little USB NFC reader like this one. Yeah. And then you just plug it into your PC and you can just run npm start and it should just work.
Cool. And then you have the customer Android app, which is the Apple Pay-like thing.
Yep.
That hopefully doesn't have to live forever. And then eventually, soon, you will have the POS Android app up there.
Yeah. And the website's also there as well. So if somebody's testing out wallets that I haven't tested and put up on the website yet, you can add that to that website repository as well.
Cool. Where can we, maybe what we should do is invite people to come hack with us at DevConnect on this.
Oh, yeah. So I talked to the DevConnect team. They're pretty excited about the project, and they wanted to give me some space in the Ethereum. Can't remember what it's called, but the Ethereum demo day,
thing?
The World Fair. That's it.
The World Showcase.
World Fair.
Yeah.
They want to have an area for open source projects and like hackathon projects, and so I was gonna demo it a little bit there. I'm not sure I'll have that much time to demo it, but at some point, hopefully. And then I can show people around the conference. Yeah, and it'd be great to hack on people there, hack on it with people there at DevConnect as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, everyone follow Tim on X, I suppose, is the best place.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling we'll end up announcing some sort of space where we can hack together with Tim.
Yeah.
And move forward.
There's also a Discord for this. I think it's in that main thread about the payment terminal, which is the main highlighted post on my Twitter. And so you can join the Discord and chat in there as well. And it's where I'm sharing updates and announcements and new code and all those kind of things and talking about contributions.
Cool. So this is the main thread, which is pinned to the top of your profile, right?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and down the bottom of that is the Discord. And then there's also a FreePay POS Twitter account as well that you can follow for updates.
All right, cool. This is the part where I learn how to unshare my screen. Well, what else should people know?
Yeah, so in the current future plans to try and get all the wallets on the same page and helping move this forward, getting them compatible, getting these improvement proposals done. And then also if anyone wants to take this and run with it, doing a company out of it, happy to talk about that as well. Like somebody that wants to produce hardware and sell it, somebody that wants to do distribution, or like programs to try and get merchants using it, things like that. I imagine this is going to be a long process. It's not like it's a sprint. This is a marathon. This will probably be like, it may be a decade for this to take over the world. But like if we keep working on it and if we get things compatible and the software is out there, then people can take it and run with it and integrate it with other payment terminals, things like that. And that would be awesome.
Cool. And then on this improvement proposal, the CAIP, do you know how that process works? Like, is that something that will be merged as far as you know, and when?
Eventually, I'm hoping it'll be merged. I'm not sure what the full process is. It seems to be put up a PR and then discuss it a bunch and then figure out a good standard until it's merged. Yeah, so anybody that can help with that would be great. Any wallets as well, or that want to discuss it or try and do like test implementations of it would be awesome as well. I was thinking about trying to do a test implementation in an existing wallet in something open source, like maybe Ravi or MetaMask or Coinbase, because they also have good support. But I don't know their code bases that well, so it'd be better to work with someone that actually knows the wallet rather than trying to get Claude to figure it all out.
Yeah, and it sounds like probably as many people who can put eyes on this CAIP as possible would be helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you want as much discussion and like critical understanding of all of the edges as possible before something like this is adopted.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of handling of edge cases. Like something I thought about is like when you tap to put your phone's address in, like what happens if you pull the phone away or you have to unlock your phone or things like that. Like how does the this protocol work in those cases? Like how does it handle these kind of errors and things like that? I probably have to deal with them, but I'm not really sure how to specify that. So I'm working with some people, working with Bumblefudge and hopefully some other people to try and get this spec'd out. So it's in the easiest process as possible.
Cool. Yeah, it strikes me that with the latest thing you've done, you also have this sort of very simple P2P payment system, NFC payment system using crypto that you could use not just for merchants, but for like paying people back for restaurant bills and
exactly, yeah,
kind of payment that's P2P.
Yeah, it would be great for that too. And like a lot of it, so like when you think about it, it is just wallet to wallet payments. It's like, why can't you just like pay, like type in their address and pay like that? But like a lot of the friction with crypto comes in like what chain are you on, what token are you using, like how do I get this to this location, that kind of thing. This eliminates all that friction, and that's a big part of why I'm building it. In the future, I also would like to have automatic bridging and swapping of tokens on the merchant terminal side, probably, so that somebody can just pay with whatever they want, and then the merchant terminal will automatically figure out how to swap and bridge it to the correct location that you specify. So like you'll set up, you can install this merchant app on your phone. You can set up saying like, I want all my payments on Arbitrum and I want everything to be in USDT. And then whenever anybody taps to pay you, you'll be automatically put in that account on Arbitrum in USDT for you.
Yeah,
and that
cool.
would be a great friction saver in crypto.
But you could be sending whatever token you need to, and it gets automatically bridged and converted, which is obviously easier with stables. The other kind of fun, weird thing that I was thinking of when you were describing this in the beginning is it would also allow you to do things like create a store that only accepts, let's say, Pengu, and it's Pudgy themed, and you go in and you have to pay for like every physical piece of Pudgy Penguin merchandise in Pengu, and there's no other way to pay. Right?
Yeah, that could totally be a thing.
Or Connor McCormick has this idea of index wallets, which is an interesting like public goods funding mechanism, where a merchant could say like, I only accept something in one of these currencies, and the currencies are actually, they're not meme coins, but they're tokens that have been minted to raise money for some important thing, and it's a way of like expressing your ideological alignment to the thing it is that the merchant wants you to be aligned with, right?
Yeah, totally. Because it's all chain token wallet agnostic, when the merchant sets up the terminal, they can specify what chain they want, what tokens they want, things like that. And so they can do that. They can say like, this is a Pengu shop and we only accept Pengu if they want.
Cool.
Or they can just make everything automatically get converted to Pengu for them.
Great. This is exciting. It's a big project, daunting, but it's one of those where it's only daunting because it has promise, and pretty impressive for something that you can just crank out over the weekend.
Yeah, it's only the very beginning. This is I feel like it's a very simple demo. People are very excited over it, and I'm like, it's just a hackathon project. But seeing so much excitement over it made me think this could be something bigger, and that I'm onto something here, and that because like I've seen a lot of attempts at crypto payments before and payment terminals, but I haven't seen anyone attempt this before, like making the open source standard chain wallet token agnostic payment terminal that anyone can use to I want to rally all of crypto to take on TradFi together, so we can all work as a team to make payments happen rather than all these individual fighters, essentially.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Looking forward to following along, obviously. Everyone go follow Tim so that you can see announcements. And of course, go see what you can do to contribute to this project. If it does take over the world, it'd be cool to be one of the first 10 to 20 people who made an open source commit to it. So think of it that way.
True.
And go rally your wallet, your favorite wallet provider, or if you work there, then tell your employer. And we will see you at DevConnect, if not sooner.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, thanks.
I hope to meet people there.